Part 5 of UFO Disclosure, Reptilians and the Antichrist. In this time of supposed disclosure of the UFO files, the one containing, water birds and hobby rockets, etc., it is only natural that we question everything else. Although many had known about and spoken about Tim Cohen's book, The Antichrist and a Cup of Tea, there had been years in which it had gone largely forgotten until recently. Suddenly, and it does seem to coincide with the rise in the interest in aliens and UFOs, but, suddenly there is also a renewed interest in Tim Cohen's book and his views. Tim Cohen's book is a very specific and detailed analysis on biblical prophecy and written from a Hebrew Christian perspective. Of course, the controversy surrounding Tim Cohen's book rests on the fact that according to his analysis, King Charles, or Prince Charles as he was then, fits the biblical description and his calculations perfectly when it comes to who the Antichrist may be. Now, Cohen spent a lot of time and pages dissecting Charles's coat of arms, or then the official coat of arms of the Prince of Wales. According to Cohen, the imagery and the crest literally mirrors the apocalyptic beasts described in the book of Revelation, specifically Revelation 13. He links the symbols, the lion, the bear, and the leopard, to biblical text, and he claims that the red dragon emblem associated with Wales symbolizes Satan granting power to the beast. Cohen also reports that if you add the numerical values of Charles's full names and official royal titles in both English and Hebrew, it still calculates to 666. He also refers to the genealogy of the British royal family and, of course, like us, looked at Charles's immense global footprint. In Cohen's view, Charles's involvement with the World Bank, and of course not from Cohen's book, but from our own knowledge, the other organizations like the WEF. In Cohen's view, these organizations are the framework for a new world order and global governance. The Bible itself, however, does not give any specific description of the Antichrist. What we today may perceive as the Antichrist is pieced together bits and bobs from both the Old and the New Testament. From what we can learn, the Antichrist does not walk around with horns on his head or has eyes glowing red when he's angry. But instead, what we do learn from the Bible and interpretations is that whoever he is a master of social masking, very charismatic, and a deceptive global leader. The prophet Daniel describes him as having a mouth speaking great things. He is boastful yet eloquent, a compelling orator who uses language to captivate the masses. And here you can refer to Daniel 7 verse 8. The Bible also describes the Antichrist as someone with extreme arrogance who will, and I quote from Daniel 11, exalt himself above every god. Now, strangely, this is not just a once-off. Paul, in the Bible, echoes this in the New Testament, stating that this man, this Antichrist, opposes everything that is worshipped. According to the Bible, he does not conquer by brute force initially. No, instead he rises to power through intrigue and flattery. Daniel 11 verse 21, and uses a false peace agenda to deceive many people. Also, be very careful about the interpretation of the prefix anti, as in Antichrist. In the original Greek, the prefix anti does not necessarily mean against, but instead, or in Greek, it mostly means in place of. The Bible warns that he will present, or he already presented himself, as a savior, a peacemaker, and a solution to global crises, effectively stepping into the role of a Messiah. So let's have a look at 77-year-old Charles. He himself claimed that he was related to Dracula, or then Vlad the Impaler. You will remember that in a previous episode we spoke about Count Vladimir Dracula, whose son, or he was Vladimir Dracul, whose son obviously took his name, as well as earning the name Vlad the Impaler for himself. Now remember, Vlad's father was a member of the Order of the Dragon. Vlad himself earned his nickname because he impaled his enemies on wooden stakes near and around his castle. We also know that Charles, King Charles, owns a number of properties in Romania. It started with one. Last I heard, it had turned into 3 properties, but there are those saying it could be as many as 10. Never mind, Charles himself said that genealogy shows that he is descended from Vlad the Impaler, or then Count Dracula, son of the dragon. So folks, there you have it. We had finally brought the legend, or the myth, or maybe even reality, of the reptilian together with the real history of a Romanian warlord named Count Vladimir Dracula, one of the most vicious, most cruel people to have ever lived. Next time we'll talk a little bit more about the Antichrist and whether Charles really fits the bill or not. Until then, please take good care of yourselves, stay vigilant, and stay safe.